What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. In this video, I'm going to go over Trump's new stimulus plan for 2025. I'm going to let you hear directly what he says. His plan, he's got multiple different things he wants to do here for 2025. I'm going to let you hear directly from him. He's got multiple things, and we're going to go over it here in this video to bring billions or actually trillions of dollars of relief for Americans. And well, they're actually pretty big. Yeah, so we're going to go over it here in this video. We're live right now here. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You could let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on our future videos. It's completely free to do so. Okay, so we're going to start off with this first one here. We got multiple things here, so stay tuned to the end because there's several different things that Trump has actually in motion and has plans for. Here is the first one that Trump has said here. Take a listen to this. And he's actually kind of in works here with Democrats. I'll give you the details here on this after you hear from President Trump on this one.
And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. We have no choice. They're getting 22, 25%. We can't let people have to pay 25% and 22% interest because they can't afford to pay off their credit card. We're going to cap it for a period of time at 10%.
Yeah, so a bill would cap credit card interest rates at 10%, echoing Trump's pledge. Are there downsides? Yeah, so actually partnering with Democrats, Senator Bernie Sanders is actually trying to get Republicans to go with this and President Donald Trump. Will we see this come to fruition? Let me know your thoughts on this. Now, this is actually plausible and possible. Remember when we saw mortgage payment relief, where actually mortgage payments were actually completely paused. We actually saw student loan payment relief, where more student debt, student interest was actually paused. You actually didn't have to pay your student interest payments or student payments actually for, what was it, years during the pandemic. So something like this could actually be very possible as well. We have seen stuff like this in the past. Do you think President Trump can or will do something like this? Cap interest payments at 10%. Remember, credit card interest payments are just crazy high at all-time highs. Will we see something like this? Next up, here's the next plan from President Donald Trump. Take a listen here. And there's actually 3 different parts to what he says here, so pay attention.
I'm also announcing that as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime. You know what that means? Think of that. Think of that. Think of that. That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people. And, you know, I went to some economists, great ones, and I said, what do you think? They said, it would be unbelievable. You'll get a whole new workforce by doing that. No taxes on overtime. The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. Those are the people. They really work. They're police officers, nurses, factory workers, construction workers, truck drivers, and machine operators. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break, and that's what we're doing because this is a good one. And I think it's going to be great for the country. So that's why we will be saying that if you're an overtime worker, when you're past 40 hours a week, think of that. Your overtime hours will be tax-free. Okay, good? You're going to have it, too. And unlike Biden, where he tells you that you don't have to pay your school tuition and he gets rejected, then he goes again and again. Now it's totally gone, or as they say in politics, it's debunked. it's gone. That was terrible. You know, he kept saying to these students, no more loans, no more loans, which was very unfair to the millions of people that actually paid off their loans over the years. Some of them took 20 years to pay them off, but that's a dead deal. That's totally dead. You know, they tried to revive it 2 weeks ago. That didn't work out too well. That's a totally dead deal. But these will be 3 things that will get done. So if you think about no tax on tips, think of that. Think about this, and the Social Security for our seniors, because the seniors have been destroyed by inflation. It's unfair. And this is like a whole new life for them, because you're talking about a lot of money. So no tax on Social Securities for our great seniors. And this last one is no tax. You work your ass off, no tax on overtime. And that's so good for the employers.
Yeah, so Trump says no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security, which is 3 major things, eliminating taxes completely on 3 major things for presumably over 100 million people. There's like 70 million people on Social Security alone, and millions of people would be affected for tips and overtime as well. White House says the Republicans must include this in the reconciliation bill, which the Republicans can pass this with Republican votes only, because they control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So they could pass this on their own. Now, the Democrats passed a stimulus check, the 3rd stimulus check, which was $1,400, and passed a stimulus check without any Republican votes. So a stimulus check could be included with this as well. Now, when we look at the usdebtclock.org, it says that DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has saved the U.S. over $91 billion. Will Trump give money back to the people with the money that has been saved in the form of a stimulus check or in some form of money in some ways? A lot of people are wondering like this. Could this be done? Or is it going to be in the form of no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and credit card interest rate reduction? In addition to this, the House Republicans have just unveiled a blueprint to extend $4.5 trillion in tax cuts with the Trump tax cuts that are set to expire in 2025 and lift the debt ceiling. Republicans also want to get rid of the debt ceiling completely. Democrats wanted to in the past. Republicans didn't want to get rid of it when they weren't in control, but now that they're in control, they want to get rid of it. I've said all along, when Republicans were in control, when Democrats were in control, getting rid of the debt ceiling would actually be a good thing, because all the spending needs to be approved one way or another to begin with. The debt ceiling is just a complete debacle that just needs to be gotten rid of no matter who's in control. It's just a nightmare for our country. But the Trump tax cuts actually lower taxes for the whole country. But you do got to take into account the debt of the whole country. But as they're cutting spending, well, I mean, we are kind of, keeping all things in consideration. Now, another thing here is Trump proposes abolishment of the IRS, the federal income, altogether. I have another video on that I will link you to here in a moment. Will we get rid of the IRS completely? I'll link you to that video here in a moment. So, these are all the things that Trump has said will be coming, could be coming, are in the works, and I will keep you up to date here on all this stuff, as DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, the U.S. debt clock says, has already saved our country over $90 billion. What will be done with that money? You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. And these are all the things that President Donald Trump has said. You got to hear it from him personally here in this video. I will keep you up to date on all this stuff. So make sure to subscribe down below, click the bell icon so you get updates when new videos come out. Share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. You can click this video here to see how Trump wants to get rid of the IRS completely, or click here to see a new Social Security boost coming here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.